And we're off, and it's called Boy Howdy. Howdy, how you guys all doing out there in, I guess it'd be YouTube land? How's everything going? We're here on part 3 of the holographic reality. Um, Meant to play on, I believe Tuesday was 2. Today is Wednesday, but I'm actually recording on Monday. The past becomes the future here, right? Taking a little bit of looking at that forward ahead, right? Um, so I hope everything's good with you guys. Um, I live in California. It's crazy. Politically, it's crazy. 35, 40 miles from me, it's crazy. California is a state that lost itself a long time ago in this holographic reality, if I may say so myself, politically. And when we really start seeing in this reality or lack thereof, or simulation, if you may, is that things just, unless you see, I always think, I've been really thinking about this. I have some glasses. Why are my glasses missing? Here they are. All right. I know I'll need it when I share. Of course, I'll be sharing a screen. I was thinking about this one scripture, really, and more deeper than quoting it in the past. In the canonized version, it speaks about them that have ears but don't hear. Think about that. It's very deep. Them that have ears but don't hear. Them that have eyes but don't see. Interesting that you can have something but not be used to you. You could have something but not being able to use it. Kind of reminds me of having being a 20. Excuse me. This we had a dark out. Sorry about that. Light show, or thereof lack of it, came on trying to bring us into darkness, but reminds me of the more I looked at it, was be a process of being activated. And I was thinking about this. I was running this by one of my younger people I counsel. When I mean younger, he is definitely younger, but definitely very wise, has wisdom, but spiritually younger and open. But there's an opening that I'm seeing in my interaction with people, is many can talk, but are you activated in your gnosis? I mean, gnosis is revelation. Gnosis means getting the things from the divine. Do you get the knowledge from that? Do you understand? So I was hit with this question, almost negatively, and this even goes with simulation theory. Um, do we live in a holographic simulation reality? And is one of the things, it's really out there in the conscious community, if you're not aware of it. Are we living in is this a trap planet? And I thought about that because it's been said, and I even said yes and no. The thing being in Gnosticism is kind of funny or ironic. The foundation for both sides is there. Trap planet, demiurge. Forget, with all the gnosis aspect, there's the other side of gnosis, is the amnesia aspect of it. Notice these would be almost like the dualistic plane of the opposite side of the pole of each other. Gnosis, which is the knowing, the inner spiritual download information, revelation, knowledge, not something you learn from books in college, not something that's totally in the aspect of learning stacked up information logically. It's not that. It's the feminine aspect of Sophia. Remember, Sophia, the word philosophy, did you guys know this? The word philosophy in the Greek is philosophia. Sophia is philosophia. So Sophia embed is a aspect of this Gnosticism that it would be likened into Isis, likened into which follows Sophia, Mary's birth off Sophia. And then we go into Persephone, and then there's some others that were before that. Like I said, we're looking at different aspects. And somebody, a good friend of mine, Keisha, has mentioned that. And there was the one she talked about, and I can't remember at this time. This has been said in very, very stories, cultural, spiritual stories, allegorical stories, that the story of the allegory isn't really whether it's historical or not. It's whether the meaning of the story enriches you because it's about you and through you and awakening you. So Sophia means wisdom to wake you up. She embodies that. So everything Sophia embodies, the demiurge, is the opposite. One more time, everything that Sophia embodies, thy demiurge is the opposite. Bye. That's a fact. And then I started looking at the trap planet, and I'm going to go right to this message as soon as I finish this aspect about it. The trap planet, what do I think about a trap planet? It's not really a trap, but it is. If something keeps looping and looping and looping and not stopping looping, it gets stuck. It has very much an aspect of not being trapped. People can be trapped. But it's really the aspect of that aspect of forgetfulness, amnesia, not knowing hence and whence you're from. And then Sophia is the one that wakes you up to leave the trap. So actually, Gnosticism has them both, not one, both. And I really thought about this, and I said, oh, yeah, that does make sense. And so, yeah, think about that. Let's go. We're going into the I Ching, which is a philosophy and Taoism mixed together. Doesn't use the word in science, different words, but the aspect of what it teaches is the same, the holographic mirrored reality. So let's get into this. All right, you guys ready? So this is in the Google. The I Ching, or the Book of Changes, is an ancient Chinese, and I'm talking ancient, I'm talking 5,000, 45 to 5,000 years old. Yes, very old. Divination text and philosophical system, which does not explicitly describe the mirror holographic realities modern holographic theories do, but it can change concepts at intriguing parallels, which would be more an esoteric aspect of it. How are these parallels can be understood? The interconnectedness and the reflection. The I Ching emphasizes the interconnectedness of everything in the universe. This is a central theme in holographic reality theories, where each part contains information about the whole. This is really, if you haven't read, the I Ching is very interesting for you. Some of you math folks will even like it because it will how it connects. The I Ching as a microism. Some scholars view the I Ching's 64 hexagrams as a microcosm of the universe, offering insights into the underlying structure of reality and how everything is connected. I've shared her a couple of times. I've used her videos. A Japanese woman that will teach the concepts of esoterica in I Ching, Taoism, and Buddhism, because the Chinese don't give this up in its history like other places do. The West, it's all around. You can do some digging and you'll find different, through the years, through the different centuries, you'll find Western esoterica everywhere, right? It's everywhere. You can find it. Different groups popping up through the centuries, even in the Dark Ages, hiding from them who would corrupt it, or him that would want to destroy it. Meaning, God, the church, Rome, and some kings and them who would follow Rome. And now the 64 hexagrams is a microcosm. Yes, that's what she said. Synchronicity, meaningful coincidence. Consulting the I Ching relies on the principle of synchronicity. We've talked about synchronicity, right? Similar to what Carl Jung coined, but when we understand it was coined even to an aspect of 5,000 years ago by the Chinese, right? The concept suggests events in the external world can mirror the reflect of the inner state of the individual, highlighting a deeper connection between internal, external realities. The holistic, organic view of the reality. The I Ching represents a holistic and organic view of rigid separations between the natural and human realms, or the inner and outer. Although the I Ching does not directly articulate the concept of holographic university or universe, the resonance between the ancient principles and the modern theories of reality is compelling. The I Ching provides a framework for exploring the interconnectedness and the mirror of reality from the different perspective. Let's see if the AI offers us anything, which it should. Although the I Ching does not specifically use the term that was mentioned, see if anything's different. The I Ching emphasizes the interconnectedness of the universe and the constant change following between yin and yang. So there's the poles. Those the dualism, or the opposites of the yin and yang. The hologram, the graphic reality, right? The duality, the dual plane, the yin to the yang, the feminine to the masculine, the water to the physical, the ice to the boiling water, the opposites of everything. The resonates with a holographic principle, which suggests information about the whole is contained within each part. And this is the heavy part, is what it said. In a hologram, if you take a hologram and look at it, like similar to a mirror, and we're to cut a hologram, even everything that was in the original full hologram, no matter how many times you cut it, everything that was in the original contains still in the smaller, even though you keep trimming and trimming and trimming, it's there. The full hologram's there. Reflecting inner and outer worlds, the I Ching mirrors eternal and external realities through the symbolic storytelling. That's why when I use the symbolic storytelling of the House of Mirrors, when you see one mirror, then all that one light from that mirror reflects into each mirror after it. It's the emanations unfolding from the source, or what we learned in the black hole, or the all, or I'll even call it the monad, is that's where the reflections descend from that higher state of being. Allowing individuals to gain insight, make informed decisions by aligning with natural flow of the universe, and aligns with some interpretations of holographic theory, particularly the idea that our perceived reality might be a manifestation of a deeper informational field. The binary system in information. The I Ching uses a binary system of broken yin and unbroken yang lines to form its 64 hexagrams. These hexagrams encode various states and transformations within the universe. The binary structure has been compared to the binary code used in computing genetic codons, hinting at an understanding of informational patterns for thousands of years. There you go. What I seen with the 64, they were able to use this, as you see, if you remember earlier, I said divination. They were able to use this to create through the spiritual realm by the divinations, right? Divine nations, two nations, into creating by using the broken yin and yang to create the whole, or to create something, or even let me put a spell on you because you're mine. Had to throw on a little credence on you. Reminded me of the song. And thousand threads to throw the 1,000 years. The I Ching is 5,000 years old. Yes. Buddhism, Taoism, I Ching all have esoteric and exoteric teachings. I was listening to a young lady, she's probably in her 40s, Chinese descent, that was teaching this, and was going through the aspects of teaching this, because it's not offered by them. They hold this pure into their culture. They're not going to teach it. And plus, a lot of it was skewed down through communism. Let's just be honest, over the years. So, because it's very ancient. Process and pattern. The I Ching focuses on understanding patterns, processes of changes. So pattern recognition and the processes of the changes through the pattern watching, or understanding the patterns, rather than predicting determined outcomes. The emphasis of the process and dynamic interplay of the forces resonates with the idea the universe, where emergent properties, complex behaviors arise for simple rules, and the underlying pattern says the Zen psychedelic. I love that. While the I Ching doesn't specifically use the terminology of holographic, its underlying philosophy, interconnected mirroring of realities, and focus on fundamental patterns of change that can be seen in having conceptual parallels with aspects of the holographic theory and the ideas that really might be fundamentally informative in a holographic nature. And I want to tell you guys, especially you spiritual ones, you really conscious folks that have experienced it and tasted that rarefied stuff, that your ancient spiritual teachings from all over the world, right, we're hitting on this stuff that now some scientists are now tapping into now. It was there because in the past, spirituality, synchronicity, syncretisms, science and spirituality were the same thing. It's just been recently, the last 100 and something years, did they try to make it into school and try to separate it in this Western philosophy. Because even when you go into the 17 and 1800s, there was scientists that would tell you they were alchemists. And it's just not physical alchemy, because anybody that knows alchemy really knows it really isn't about the physical. The key is the inner alchemy, is the hidden knowledge, or the esoteric. What are the belief systems and many reality concepts similar to holographic theory? I like more info on the interconnectives. Let me hit this. Let's see what this says. I know Buddhists. We're going to get into Buddhists. We're going to get into Gnosticism. Some of the physical and religious traditions are concepts of holographic theory. The idea that the universe could be three-dimensional projection information from a two-dimensional surface. We went over that in actually part 1. These traditions often emphasize interconnectedness, the illusionary nature of reality, and the idea that the whole is reflected in each part. like you're all of everything. So here it's already telling us Buddhists has them. We're going to go into this, not today. Hinduism, which we did. Kabbalah, which has it. How about Taoism, which we're doing today? Philosophy, indigenous religions. So you see, it was everywhere in our past with spiritual connected people who were tapped into self, awakened, and activated mystics, shamans, wise men, sages. We're talking about this thousands of years ago. Interesting, interesting. Let's go out. I find it very, very interesting that this aspect, right, of this, and you've seen there's some more, even some philosophy, we can get into it. And it mentioned the Buddhism, which will be next. Um, I may break. We have Buddhism right now. I got Buddhism, and we're going to do Gnosticism, showing this and get into it deeper. But also, I'm going in between. We're going to go somewhere else. I'm going to talk about finding that interconnectedness within us, because it is that interconnectedness this is talking about our field. And we're going to get into a video I'm going to share about where we can find that at within us. That'll be my next video, because it's extraordinary how it's within you and opening up your treasure box. Let's call your chakras your treasure box, right? The book of Revelation is talking about opening up the was it the something was locked and it had to be opened up, and only one worthy was Jesus Christ, Lamb of God, slain before the foundation of the world. And it's actually opening up that which within you. And I can't remember the word right now. God, I taught this many years ago in esoterica. Forgive me for my amnesia. But think about it. Opening up your very treasure within you, or that portal, or that door within you, where everything that this holographic reality in the quantum field is within you and around you, connected to your organic. And the observer aspect of this is because they've even seen through quantum physics that the energy changes while it's observed. That the energy will actually start maneuvering and changing, and through the frequency. And we're going to get, this is really going to come hard on this next video. And the frequency we put out is the password and gives you the right to open up the treasure within you, the treasure within you that's been hidden. How's the scripture going? The cattle and the canonized version. This treasure be in you, hidden within man, Christ in him. This treasure is the knowledge of the holographic field of this reality. That's deep. Think about it. I'm not leading you with this to something to come up. Come to your own feelings and revelation, and how you take this and see this and what you do with it, where it's going to be according to what you're at, where you're at, and what growth you're willing to go through, and where you're at in your frequency and vibration, right? It's really there. But how you can take this and start applying it, because now that field around you, not that you're changing the world, but you're changing your frequency around you, that now starts to harmonize with you, that opens the door for you to create. But where's that space to create at? That space to create at. How do we get there? I got a great video that's going to talk about this, and my next video as part 4 and 5 will be intermitted by this next video. And the video is 32 minutes, I believe. I will jump in it immediately, or we can make 2 parts out of it. I will get the feel and be led what to do. But think about what I just said. The 62 5,000 years ago, they're talking about this in China. Esoteric knowledge about the I Ching connected to not determining it, but learn to create. I'm telling you, when it determines on its own, they call it fate, but it's your subconscious mind painting the picture that you walk in, and we call it fate. Or do we start activating our subconscious, that dark area in that black hole? Think about this. This is how I'm looking at the black hole, almost like the pleroma, or that nothingness that's the allness, the dark womb spoken about. Another one I would like to look in. I'm going to check this because we seen the Kabbalah had it. It mentioned the Kabbalah was connected to this too. Is whether Sufi Muslimism. Do you guys know Sufi Muslim is not the Muslim that we've been programmed? Because most of us have been programmed that the Muslims are your enemies and yada 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 yada. Right? Not getting a program. But just like traditional Christianity that a lot of us here in the West came out of, Sufi Muslim is the spiritual Muslims when they come out of the indoctrination. Yeah, it is. You guys have a great day. We're going to get on the next video. All right. And we're going to get this, but think the I Ching, great video. You guys have a great day.